Hi guys, this is Chris here from Chris Chang Photography.
And I'm Zachary, senior photographer for Chris Chang Photography as well.
So Zach, how are you doing?
Pretty good. It's been a busy couple of last weekends after the COVID-19 break where there was a lull period in weddings. We're starting to see a trend whereby weddings are picking up again. We're doing actual day shoots, we're doing pre-wedding shoots.
Yeah, that's a lot. And so right now, if you didn't know, the government is allowing 50 maximum of 50 packs for wedding celebrations. So with that news, right, a lot of our couples are starting to plan their weddings again. And pre-weddings, of course, pre-weddings are allowed in a maximum number of 5 people. So that is really picking up. We are doing like 3 to 4 shoots per week. So it's been quite some time since we've been this busy. With 73 days being stuck at home during the circuit breaker period. So actual days, we're going to talk about some of the weddings that we've been shooting over the past weekend, and some learnings for couples like you who are planning your wedding as well. I think these tips would be quite interesting for you.
Yeah, but right now is a very good time to do your pre-wedding shoot because you don't need that many people to gather around, and then it's something that you can do during the weekdays. So if you're planning your wedding, it's coming up soon, you're not sure how to use this time, maybe it's a good period of time to think about your pre-wedding shoot right now.
Yeah, and guess what? Places like Gardens by the Bay, because now we have no tourists, right, in Singapore. So everyone there is all Singaporean, and it's almost deserted, during weekdays. So it's the best time to go to Gardens by the Bay for your shoot. Maybe like National Museum, other Singapore attractions, that where we can shoot at. So we don't have to contend with the crowds like we do, before this whole COVID-19 thing happened. What we really wanted to talk about during this video, right, is actually our experiences. Last weekend, I shot a wedding, you shot a wedding, so maybe Zach, tell us something, that you noticed that's different from the usual wedding we had.
Well, we started off as usual at the bride's house. Same thing as always, we capture behind the scenes of the makeup and everything. Immediately, the first thing I noticed was, of course, there were none of the friends were actually there. So what the couple did was that they actually had like their grandparents, just those closest to them. They're only allowed 5 people to visit their house, and that includes us. So myself and 2 videographers, the grandmother of the couple came, and pretty much that was it. So it was kind of a quieter, more intimate event, and I think that gave us a lot more time to to slowly enjoy the occasion and to capture some really good behind the scenes shots of the makeup process. And even the gate crash itself, we still managed to have some fun with some games whereby the groom played some mini games by himself. The bride still had a blast, laughing at the groom and all the antics that was happening, even though it was just like some mini games with the groom and her real life brother. But yeah, what about your side?
So yours was held in the bride's house, right?
Yes, the bride's house.
So I think right now the restrictions is that you can have 5 visitors in your home.
Yes.
So mine was a bit different. Mine was held at the hotel suite itself. So the hotel suite, right, is not a home. So the 5 packs limit still applies, but it's 5 packs altogether. For yours, right, you actually can have 5 packs excluding the people who already stay there. So in our our pre-planning with the bride, right, that was a point of a big headache, because usually I work with an assistant, and then we have the videographers coming in who have their own assistant, and then there will be like the mom and dad, and then there will be the bride and then the makeup artist. So what the bride did, they booked adjoining suites lah. So everybody who was not involved in that section of the shoot, right, would go to that suite. And for the rest of us who are working, like maybe the photographer and videographer, we only had 1 person there. Myself, the photographer, was there, the videographer was there, the makeup artist was there, and the bride and maybe her sister. That's all. So we were shooting, and then once I didn't really have to leave the room, but I knew that the parents had to go back to their suite for a while, because the 5 people, when I arrived, the parents were there because they were like talking to the bride. Then they had to leave. Then after the makeup was done, right, then the makeup artist left. Then the parents can come back. Okay, so you can see where this going, right? The sister had to go to the suite, to the next door suite as well. So we did the Gai Tosa. So, but I think for the safety of everyone, that's something that we try. Even me, I try to remind my brides lah. You know that 5 people. If you want to have it in a hotel or somewhere that is not your house, right? Then you have to remember that 5 packs is the maximum, not 5 packs plus. You know your family is not counted. But Zach, you can maybe have 10 people in the house, right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing that maybe you might not have thought about. $50 packs, but do you know that 50 packs is only for the banquet?
Yep.
So like segments like the ROM, segments like tea ceremony, segments like I think only these two. You know that the packs limit is very different. For ROM is, what was it? It's
20
20 people, right?
Yeah.
So 20 people, and for the tea ceremony is only 5 people.
Yeah, like Chris was saying, the person limit for banquets is just 50 people. I think that just forces all couples to really think about who are the closest people in their life. And if you're someone who's looking for a more quiet and intimate wedding, you don't like those weddings with 300 people, and you only know 10 of those people, then this is your time, because you don't have to invite so many people. You get to enjoy an intimate, quieter wedding with the people who mean the most to you. So you can actually make use of this period of time for a closer wedding banquet. And for my couple last weekend, the couple pretty much invited most of their relatives. So I think both sides of the family, they kind of make up the 50 packs. And then it was just a celebration amongst family. So yeah, I think it was nice.
So a lot of times I think the misconception is that 50, right, is the limit everywhere. Wow, then in my house I can have 50 everywhere. No, only the banquet where they serve food. Okay. For ROM also, I think one interesting point that we didn't talk about is that for outdoor ROM, anywhere they're sitting outdoors, you can have 50 people at the ROM. But for indoor venues, which does not serve food during the ROM, I don't think people serve food during ROM. So you can only have 20 people. So what our couple did to work around this problem was that we offered to do a live stream for them. So they had 40 guests for their ROM. So how they did it was 20 people will sit in the foyer area, which is the live venue for the ROM. Another 20 sat in a function room. And then, so how we bridged the gap is that we actually did a live stream into the function room via Zoom. And then, so for all the people who were not invited to the wedding or were uninvited, we actually streamed that over Zoom. That was what we did. I think it's very interesting, that the things that people do to work around this. Maybe you can have 100 people, but all seated in different ballroom. But then maybe 50 people have to go home after that, because only 50 people can eat lunch. So that was something interesting. For mine, the JP was wearing a face shield, but I don't think she was wearing a mask because she had to be loud and clear. The couple is supposed to wear a mask throughout the ROM. So I think the only circumstance where you can just quickly take off your mask is when you're doing the first kiss. It's quite weird, right? If you kiss with a mask there, not really, So throughout all the other, ceremonies like marching in, signing, saying of vows, you have to wear your mask. So this is something you have to take note. I think that there's nothing we can do about it. But then one thing for the brides, maybe you can get a bridal mask. Now I think these cottage industries are starting up, whereby fashion designers and jewelry designers are putting together these very beautiful bridal masks.
Speaking of that, my couple last weekend, they had bridal masks on. They had their initials, at the side of the mask with like a heart shape kind of thing. So it's pretty cool. I think it looks much better than than your normal medical mask. So if you have to get married during this period of time, you're having a wedding soon, definitely look into getting one of those customized masks. You can even put a hashtag or some message down there.
So for group shots, right, whereby you take photos with mom, dad, ama, akong, right. So the maximum people that can be in one photo is actually 5 people. And then during that moment where we are taking the photos, you can actually remove your mask. And then you must put it on again. Okay, so that's something to think about. If you want to take one, I'm not sure about this, so I'm just putting it out there. So I've been told by some venues, if you want to take a big group shot with everybody, which I don't think is advisable, so everybody must wear masks. So I don't think it's very, doesn't make sense lah. You don't really know who he is. It can be anyone, like some wedding crashers as well. So I did 2 weddings that had a sit down lunch. So the first one was still with 20 people. So that one was pretty straightforward. 5 people per table. So the next one, the one that I shot just the past weekend, had 50 packs. So basically it's 10 tables of 5 people. Okay, so you may think that, wow, okay, I can have my banquet, right? Then wow, I can still go and talk to 阿公啦、舅公啦、三姨啦. Actually you cannot. You only can talk to, maybe if you are the bride and groom lah, you only can talk to the people at your table lah. You can't actually go to another table and talk to your 师婶, because there's no mingling in between tables. So that's the weird thing. I think you can shout to them lah. Say, hey, how you doing?
You can call them.
You can call them. Yeah, Zoom them. Yeah, turn on your phone, Zoom, and give them a call when they're sitting beside you. So there's also no photography allowed between tables. I think they didn't want it to be like, they want to form small little clusters, and don't let people like co-mingle and double dip their food. And of course, no yam sing lah. There was no. The one that I did over the weekend, yes, they did a cheers. It was a very tame affair. Not the usual shouting that we have. Okay, so speeches, right, is very interesting. So the couple actually has to wear a face shield. So I think this regulation came from, like teachers, when they're giving lecture, they have to wear a face shield. So like maybe their spittle won't fly, and then, and they can be heard loud and clear lah. So that's the same for the couple. I think one other thing we can talk about is what we can recommend our couples to do. So you may think, right now, wow, only can 50 people, then gate crash only can have 2 people, like just the photographer and me. So your wedding coverage, wow, I signed with Chris 10 hours leh. Then now we only need 2 hours lah. I mean, yeah, true to a certain extent, whereby itineraries are shortened and streamlined, right? And then maybe certain things we cut out. But then something to think about is that there are many things that we can do with the spare time. Like gate crash. Even before COVID, right, a lot of couples actually are foregoing their gate crash to do what you call a bridal party shoot. Outdoor shoot is still allowed. We can have 5 people. Of course, we can't shoot with your mega bridal party lah, 兄弟姐妹, 20 people. But we can shoot in groups of 5. So we can actually go to a location, be like East Coast Park lah, Botanic Gardens lah, and then we will take some nice photos together with your bridesmaids, groomsmen, do some couple shoot, at your hotel. So that's one thing for photo shoots. We can do that. We can go to more than one location. Like sometimes on weddings day in the past, we all rush, a carpool together and rush to one outdoor location, and then that's it. But then now we got a little bit more time, right? Why don't we go to more locations, and then maybe you can spend more time taking photos with each of your bridesmaids and groomsmen, rather than chop chop kalipok, then it's finished. Okay, so that's one thing that I think we can spend more time on. For video, there's sometimes even before the COVID, right, we actually do letter reading, saying of the vows, pre-recording of the vows, so that to put in as a voiceover for your express highlight or for your final product. So that all these things can be done with the extra time that we have. So I don't think that having less people necessitates having much less fun at your wedding.
Yeah, pro tip for you guys, think about your logistics for your actual day event. Because pre-COVID-19 times, you had like your brothers and sisters to help you to carry things, to keep track of time, to be your game master for your gate crash. But during these times, you have lesser people with you. So even you got to think about who's going to carry things to the hotel, who's going to help carry extra gowns, your makeup kit, your hongbao box, all that kind of jazz. Just make sure that you have enough hands to carry everything you need, because you're literally bringing a smaller entourage with you for your wedding day. So yeah.
I hope this video you have you have probably learned a bit from our experience. You know, not everything is spelled out for you in the MTI guidelines. I don't find a place that there is, you know, this repository of information for all this. So we're actually sharing as we go. If we find that there are new things that happen, yeah, we will share with you. And then the next time that they increase the pax limit for weddings, we will create another video to share our experiences.
Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you attended a wedding recently, do let us know your experience, share it in the comments down below. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know as well, and we'll be sure to answer those questions that you may have.
So thanks for watching our video. We have many more interesting videos coming in our pipeline. So if you enjoy our content, right, please remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll be kept updated of when we next upload our video. So thank you, please stay safe, and we'll see you in our next video.